Recycling is one of the most important steps we as a society can make towards a better future, both ecologically and economically. Precious and finite resources are wasted every day through apathy and ignorance. The RRPG seeks to help educate and influence the young adults of today by involving them in recycling in a modern, interactive and fun way. The project is designed to influence the recycling behaviour of students at Staffordshire University. Recycling is an important part of resource management for a university, and proper waste management is very important for both public relations and for the larger community economics. Our research shows that, in very rough terms, for every one job that exists in the traditional landfill and incineration systems, the recycling industry can create 10. Recycling as a whole is very important, not solely for the environmental reasons, but also an economic one. Both savings in long-term and short-term resource retention, and the sale of secondary recyclers is an important and growing industry. In order to grow this industry and make the public more aware of its importance, we have designed a game system that we would like to deploy into university campuses. Computer games as the dominant media form are a very useful way to get any message across to a young audience, but we feel that a simple flash game is so easily overlooked and the message is lost. So we've decided to create a more interactive, real-world game for students to learn recycling and their first experience of living alone in the real world. In the near future, man has begun to stretch its grasp out into the stars. Advances in technology have made space travel no more daunting than sea travel of old. This unrelenting expansion has, however, come at a cost. The price of raw materials has skyrocketed, and the reclamation and recycling industry is now one of the most important and lucrative professions there is. But the vastness of space is without any real law, so now the once peaceful and noble pursuit of recycling has become the provision of pirates, privateers, and black market traders. So a new breed of pioneer has arisen. Traders, pirates and privateers alike travel through space, scouring the solar system for any and all resources. Now you must go forth into the far reaches of space. Let nothing go to waste. Treat every scrap as if it were gold. A begins his experience with downloading the application. He then creates his character and looks into his bin. He has 5 soft drink cans and 2 large plastic bottles, and the rest of his rubbish is miscellaneous. So he decides to go to the special RRPG recycling station and deposit his bottles and cans. After scanning his student card at the bin, he deposits the bottles, earns 2 units of plastic and 10 experience points. The cans earn him 1 unit of metal and 10 experience points. He then returns to the application, where he now has a total of 20 experience, 2 plastic units and 1 metal unit. He chooses to use the experience to improve his ship's basic statistics. This requires him to use experience and metal. He then realizes he doesn't have enough metal to purchase these upgrades, and he wants to look onto the trade system to see what he can get. He then finds player B is offering metal for plastic. A agrees to the price and gains 1 metal for the 2 plastic he has. Now has 2 metal and 20 experience. This is enough to upgrade his ship. So A now has a really cool ship and wants to explore the universe, and he finds that B is in the area and challenges him to a duel. B recognizes A and agrees to a friendly duel. A begins by reviewing his newly upgraded ship. He has 2 blasters, a missile launcher and a shield. B, who has been playing longer, has 2 heavy blasters, a missile launcher, 2 heavy shield projectors and a scanner. The scanner allows B to see the loadout of A's ship. Seeing his advantage, he smiles and commences his attack. Combat begins with both players allocating power points from their ship. A is at level 2 and has 2 power to allocate. B is at level 5 and has 5 power to allocate, as shown in the table below. Power allocated, the players enter the next phase of combat, where powered systems activate and proceed with their abilities. Player A is invested in upgrading his initiative, whereas B has not. So an internal roll is made on a d20, and A is the winner. So A fires his blasters, attempting to hit target B's weapons. An internal roll is made for this, which is d20, plus the player's accuracy, minus the enemy's evasion. 10 is required to hit, and 15 is required to hit the targeted system. A manages to hit B, but misses the system he was aiming for, only hitting the hull. B returns fire with a single heavy blaster and a missile. 2 rolls are made, though the blaster is made very inaccurate, requiring 15 to hit and 20 to hit a targeted system. It is, however, more powerful. Missiles are very accurate but do little damage, requiring 10 to hit, and they always hit their targeted system. The blaster hits, as does the missile, both targeting the player's weapons. The blaster misses the system, but the missile does not. A is in trouble. Damage and shielding is now assigned in the final combat cleanup phase. A is hit with a standard blaster, dealing 1d6 of damage, so damage is calculated and rolls a 6. B, however, has 2 points in his heavy shield, and decides to absorb with 2 shield absorptions, for a total of 2d6. The result is a 4, so only 2 damage bleeds through onto B's hull. B now rolls his missile damage, which is 1d4, directly onto A's blaster, dealing 3 damage. A decides he must protect his weapons, and assigns his shield absorb, rolling 1 on a d4 for his shield absorption. His weapon takes 2 damage. This is severe but not yet critical to the weapon's health, which is 2 per ship level. B now rolls his heavy blaster damage for 2d6 and deals 8 damage to the hull of A. Hulls have 10 health per level, plus 5 per health upgrade. With no shield to absorb, A is severely damaged. Severely damaged, A is in a dire situation, and plots his next move in the new power allocation phase. Both players A and B have the same idea. A is desperate and abandons all defence in the hopes he can damage B enough to get it back into the fight. B, however, has smelt blood, and powers all his weapons up to deliver a decisive blow. A goes first again, with his speed upgrade working in his favour, managing to land 2 hits on B's heavy blaster. B lands a hit with all weapons. Things look very bad for A. This cleanup phase looks like it may be the decisive one. A lands 2 blaster hits against the heavy blaster of B for a total of 2d6 damage. He deals 11 damage in total with an excellent roll. This disables the weapon and gives A some hopes. B, however, has powered all his weapons, overpowering both his blasters to deal 0.5 extra damage with both, but with the first disabled he must rely on the second and his missile to deal 12 points of damage to win. With his blaster he deals 1.5 times the 2d6, dealing 9 total damage. Only 3 health is left on A's hull. The missile is then rolled, and the roll is good, for 4 damage. The battle is over. B is victorious. Defeated, A thanks B for the duel and returns to his mission, vowing to recycle more and to become the ultimate reclamator. This, however, is just a small sample of what we propose to do in the game. In addition to its core features and recycling, we will hope to include player teams, team starbases, team battles, resource training, team league rewards, and resource wagering.